Hey.
Hey, I was just giving my Zeke a kiss. You can't see him. Or you have to assume that he's there. I just might be bending over, kissing the air. That's okay too.
I honestly thought you were making a grand entrance.
Yeah, that's it. That was it. That's
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Thanks for
Nothing thanks for.
I say this every week that I'm just going to start doing it myself, but then I give her an opportunity. I always give her an opportunity. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Yes, I am.
If you're watching live with us, say hello. Let us know where you are watching from, how great you feel. Can't wait to see if you are streaming in from our Facebook group, which remember, if you are streaming in, make sure that you give StreamYard permissions. So we're not talking to the ethers. We know, well, we're always talking to the ethers, right?
Which planet we tuning into? Which consciousness level we tuning into?
It's Tuna Tokyo. If you are watching from LinkedIn, hi, YouTube, all of our friends around the world. This is Thanks for Nothing. And this beautiful woman next to me doesn't ever mess around.
That's all I ever do.
I know. As I said that, I was like, that's not really true.
Hey, it's Jane and she's listening. It reminds me of Frasier. Hi, this is Frasier. I'm listening. So
Hi,
Jane's listening. Jane. Miami's in the house. Florida's in the house, right? Nice.
From Miami. Awesome. Don't forget, Facebook users. We want to know. We've got someone from Miami. We got someone from Florida. Very exciting. Because it's the same place. I don't know why that's exciting. Miami's in Florida. So today you are watching Things for Nothing. What'd you say?
I said, is it? But go ahead.
She's trying to.
Don't you really appreciate your sessions with Rich more and more?
No, it's like totally different vibes, and it's fun. I love them both. That's like what the mom answers. Like, I love my children equally. One's the unruly one, and one's more well behaved. And sometimes you need.
We all know that I'm the well behaved one.
Today's topic we are talking about is how. I forgot already because we're just talking about wishes fulfilled.
Living from your wish fulfilled. How do you know?
How do you know?
How do you know? How do you know if he loves you?
I was gonna do it different. Like seriously.
It started long before we got on screen today. We've been serenading each other all morning.
Well, my question for you is if you are wanting to start your day off on a high note, then you want to stay here. That's not really a question, but the question I guess to ask yourself is, do you want to feel good? Because if you want to feel good, then stay right here because we've got a great show for you.
Yeah, because did you know that feeling good feels good to feel good?
I feel good.
Like, what other reason do you need to feel good other than feeling good feels good to feel good?
Probably no other reason. I think that's good enough
Exactly.
reason.
Yeah. I feel good.
That's already what I was already in my head. Okay, go ahead.
Well, this is all about you today. We're going to turn the spotlight onto you because I've got to be the observer and the witness to your amazing journey that you've been on for the past couple months or so. And I think that it's when we set tangible goals, practical goals of things that are in physical reality, we celebrate those, but we need to start celebrating the intangibles, the more energetic and etheric and the feeling within, because it changes how you present yourself to the world. And for me, in being being honored to and the amount of trust and faith of us sharing our journeys together, to watch you grow and expand. And I want for everybody to see and experience what you have expanded into. Like, it's mind-blowing to me. So share your story. And remember, talk about her in third person.
Yes.
Yes.
So for those of you who don't know, I have been working with, I hate the word work, playing.
Well, we've been playing all right.
I've been playing with Denise for what, like.
Seems like eternity, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes. It's like, it feels like eons, lifetimes, timelines. but really focused play for the last few months. And, from the outside, I would say that most people have seen Shari as highly accomplished,
Oh,
as,
she is. Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
I
She is.
mean, and this is not to toot a horn, but if we're
Oh,
talking,
we're tooting horns here. Toot, 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 toot. Yes, we are
Shari,
going to toot
Shari has
horns.
stood on the biggest stages, platforms, TED stages, right? Like she has been in the television news. She has written books. She's, coach. She's done a
She's
lot.
awesome. She's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah. Yeah. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, and she's come to be known as, the person with joy, right? Like that this is her purpose. And what she found was that in the creation of all of these goals, in the working towards all of these goals, that she actually wasn't really enjoying the
The
creation.
joy.
What?
She wasn't enjoying the joy.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
was enjoying the joy in the moments that they happened, in the moments that the physical stuff showed up. She was standing on the stage, or she was on the television, but the preparation up to that, the everyday, for her was stressful because there was so much thought and worry for her, like around doing everything right. Right. Because this is what she had, right. Because this is what she had been programmed for. Like, this is what you do. This is what gets her love. This is what gets her, the things that she thought.
It's very transactional. It sounds very transactional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. Except in the moments that her truth came out, when she was in those moments of what it was that she loved. Like, that is when the truth would speak to her and be like, okay, this is what makes her want to do it again. Was for those moments, right? But she only got so far because she knew how stressful it was leading up to it. So, like, I mean, common sense says, like, why would you continue to put yourself through so many stressful situations that only feel good momentarily?
And is common sense really that common?
I don't know, because I don't have any.
Right. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You got to pick who you're in common with, right?
Right.
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 Yeah. So the thing that I hear you saying is that, when you have a life that you enjoy and you add something to it, it should enhance the joy. It should enhance the fun, not now make it something that's stressful.
Right.
Because yeah.
And she didn't know, like, she knew that it should be fun, and she couldn't find that place of fun because she was always focused on what the outcome would be, or that moment on the stage, or when that TV camera came on, or when that book did whatever it would do. And even the people that were closest to her that had to, like, live with her and her stress around stuff would say, and stop doing these things if they're not fun. Like, why do you keep doing it?
Because someday it'll be fun. I know it.
Or in those moments, because there was that truth, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and sometimes when you come from a programming that says you got to suffer in order to get the reward, that's where you stay. But and then you have people coming along going, well, what if you're just enjoying where you are, and then you enjoy where you are, and then you enjoy where you are, and then you get the reward and you enjoy that, and then you keep enjoying and enjoying and enjoying and enjoying.
So you're living in joy.
I heard this funny thing this week that someone said, that I had to go through all this suffering in order to experience unconditional love. And I thought, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my whole life. It would be like saying, I have to eat fish so I know what steak tastes like. That makes no sense.
Right.
So, you're suffering because you enjoy suffering. That character enjoys suffering, but the version of you that enjoys love. Love is love.
Love is love.
Love is love.
So Facebook user says, okay, remind me, you are speaking about yourself as she, right?
Yes, because she's no longer the old character. She's this new character. So when you're stepping out of an old character, it's think of it like this, like when in certain cultures, when a woman gets married, she may change her last name. And there's a lot of identification with the old character with the maiden name before the married name, right? So that's kind of the thing that she's doing here, is referring to, because we love our jump off characters. We really
Yeah.
do, right? We
Yeah.
love them.
Yeah. I mean, if you've been here for a while, or you join us for the next 2 days, which Denise will talk about, you'll come to find that there is, as Denise just referred to, this beautiful jump off character. And for me, I always identified with Shari, all aspects of her, even the ones that were challenging. And that became her identity. And in the creation of who we know that we really are, like our done deal, our wish fulfilled version of ourselves, we absolutely get to take those beautiful aspects of who they were, of who Shari was, like the parts that I absolutely love about her, and bring those over to this new and improved. I don't even know if improved, it's probably, because you can't get any better than.
And the thing is, like, when people mention relationships, whether you're talking about something with someone else or with yourself, and you got to work on it, and you got, it's give and take, and no, it's not. But if you believe that, it will be that. But when you are complete in yourself, when you've taken the time, like you have just done, for that self-exploration and that self-inquiry of who am I? Who do I really want to be? The great qualities of your jump off character, you're going to bring them with you.
Right.
But it's letting go of those old things that don't serve you anymore, that allows for all these new things to open up that your old character doesn't have access to.
And what's interesting, and I think, well, actually, I know from people that I have spoken to, that she believed that this was part of the process. Like, that, things are stressful and things are hard. And when you really, right, like, but that, and there was a part of her that also knew, but it shouldn't be this way. Like, but didn't know how, like, what that, just kept thinking that it'll eventually get easier.
and when you come from a world where the people that you've observed when you were growing up, and even recently, if there are people who are struggling, but yet there are tons of other people saying on the internet, it doesn't have to be this way, you don't have to do it that way.
Yeah.
And in a reality where you do, it's going to seem like a false reality, right? You really got to start adapting and adopting what is going on over here. Like sitting here right now, how you feel?
At home, in myself.
Okay, so their thoughts, but how do you feel?
I'm like grounded, like just I feel strong. I feel like.
And right now, I see you're feeling the energy with you, and you're trying to search for the words to describe.
Yeah,
right?
I'm just like, that's why I said, like, at home, like because I don't, it's hard to put into words. I feel like, and I keep using this again because this is what it has felt like for me, like an old pair of your favorite jeans that, and by old, that are the most comfortable, and you haven't worn them in a really long time because you couldn't find them. And then all of a sudden you find them and you slide them back on, and they have always felt like you, and you just had lost them for a while. Like, that's what that feels like.
Yeah. Now, I see a Facebook user says they have a headache. So let me give you an example of what that is. You've expanded into this big character, and something is pulling you back into being small, and you're trying to shove all your energy into that smaller package where it needs to pulse out. It needs to, so you're really being asked to up level into your new character. Because it's like wearing a pair of shoes that are 3 sizes too small. Yeah, I'm sure you can put your feet in them. So every time you get a headache now, you've gone back into a smaller character because you've grown. Your energy has grown, and you're trying to put yourself back in there. And that's how your subconscious mind, because it doesn't speak with words, it's trying to say to you, do you really want to do that? Let me make you aware. And you've had some amazing aha moments. Share some of your amazing aha moments with us.
So back, like, literally, oh, okay. Hi, Michelle Bernard's cousin. Okay, I know who you are. We got names coming. So yes. So as I just shared about her and the journey to get to the things that she believed would like bring the joy, right? Or like what it is that she's supposed to do. What I have come to discover in the last few months is that number one, we should all be playing much more. That play, whether it's bubbles,
There's those bubbles again.
there's these
It's your
bubbles.
magic
And
wand,
I'm like,
man.
oh my God, I do it. Okay. So whether it's bubbles or whether it's, spinning like Wonder Woman, or whether it's, dancing in the middle of a grocery store or whatever it is, that play has there's a reason why children are in joy. Right. And so in that play, in surrounding myself with people who are also playful, that joy hasn't only waited for those accomplishments. It is in the creation of every moment. And my biggest ahas and my biggest wish fulfilled is the fact that I don't have to wait until something comes into physical form for me to enjoy it, for me to see it, that I actually get to live it and create it in every moment that I am here.
And that's like winning the Powerball right there, right? That's like, a $500 million Powerball jackpot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it feels like, and it feels so simple.
I know.
It's like,
I know. It really is that simple.
Like we came into physical form, right? From nothingness. Like we go through,
That's why we say thanks for nothing here, right?
Right. We go through this evolution. And like as children, we know this and we're just having fun and we show up. And then it's like it feels like almost I don't want to use like buried is the image that I'm getting, like and forgetting. And I can hear right now some people saying, but there's actually the other day on my YouTube, I'm going to use a specific example. I did one of this video, which was about this and like creation and the joyful moments. And this person wrote to me, they said, do you have bills to pay? And I said, yeah, of course. And she was like, and she said, oh, okay. Because usually when I see really happy, positive people, I assume they're not living in reality.
Well, they're just living in a different reality. I don't know about you, but my bills pay themselves. So I don't have bills to pay.
Y'all get that? I got that. I received that. But that is like, so because I knew conceptually that we as children, I knew about the joy thing. I knew life should be joyful. I knew like conceptually, but I wasn't doing it. I was like, kept thinking that those moments would do it. And it wasn't until I started playing again. And so often when I would speak about that in the past, like the response would be, well, there's adult responsibilities and, you gotta like, you're not like kids anymore where you have nothing to worry about. Like that would be the response a lot.
Well, here's the thing, that this whole adulting thing, I was so over it like 20 years ago. And yeah,
adulting or just
not what it's cut out to be for the little bit of a benefit of getting to stay up later or stay out later or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've learned in my consciousness journey is if I take a big leap, there's always a promise from my consciousness that I will be taken care of. Especially when I did a video in my group today that said an active revision is an active rebellion on your jump off reality. So when you are deliberately going to do something that breaks the rules of your own reality, right? So if you decide to stop working because you don't want to be in a reality where you have to earn money, you want to be in a reality where money comes to you, then you have to stop earning money.
Mm.
And when it looks like things are depleting and depleting and depleting, it's your faith and trust in knowing that the money will come. And I literally years ago put myself through to that test where I was watching the bank account just go lower and lower and lower and lower. And I'm hollering to the ceiling or the sky going, you told me I would be taken care of. And boom, I was taken care of.
Mm.
Money came in ways that today even still blows my mind.
Yeah.
I didn't take this big leap to be worse off than I was in the reality that I was in.
Right. So what would you say then is, what was the change, the transformation to, was it the allowing of the money to find you?
And I think you see this sometimes in those hero journey movies, right? Where there's this ordinary person is going about their life. They're in the program that they're in. Then they're called to do something, this great grand thing where, like you said, that there's more to what's going on than what you've been sold. You're not quite sure what it is yet, but you can feel it. And it's stirring this awakening within you. So then you stop playing the game that was dealt to you, because this isn't how, if you got to be the creator of your world, you would not be doing it this way. Right.
Yes.
Whether you're leaving a relationship or you're leaving a company or you're starting your own, it's not until you go all in will you see that growth. So you have to take what we call the bungee jump, right? The bungee jump leap of faith. And in doing that, you impress your subconscious mind that I'm no longer on that level and I'm not playing that game. And I trust, because you beat my heart, subconscious mind, you beat my heart. You digest my food without me thinking about it. Now I'm awake and aware and I'm right here. And this is the change that I want. And you promised me I would be taken care of, but it's not looking that. And there's nothing more for me to do.
Yes.
And when you call it out, it happens. But you got to do it from the pureness of heart, not because you're in some old paradigm where you have bills to pay.
It's literally like taking that leap.
Instead of heavy, I would say deep. It's deep. This is deep, but this is what's going on. And your subconscious mind, if your subconscious mind didn't want you here, it would stop beating your heart. So it wants you here. It wants you in the game. But it doesn't want you to be asking for something that you can't maintain. So it's not checking your worthiness. It's checking your readiness. And that's your big shift that I saw this week.
Say that though one more time.
Yeah. This isn't about worthiness. If your subconscious mind didn't want you here, it would stop beating your heart. There's not anything you could consciously do because you're not consciously beating your heart right now from the conscious mind standpoint. So it wants you here. If you opened up your eyes and you're wherever you are, your subconscious still wants you in the game. And it really does want you to live your wish fulfilled, because it expands with you. Your expansion is it expansion, right? So in this, in becoming aware and awake and alive where you are, it's not testing your worthiness. That's a conscious mind, lower level paradigm. It's really making sure you're ready to receive what it is that you asked for. And once you receive it, that you can maintain it.
Because would you say that that's where a lot of people in that maintaining, like they don't receive, would you say, because they can't maintain, like the universe, it gives you what you're ready for?
Yeah. So think about a lottery winner, right? They've been asking for this money. They have ideas what they want to do with this money, right? And they build up enough of a big enough impression on the subconscious mind that it comes through. And there's a difference. Are you ready to receive? I'm ready to receive $100 million right now. Absolutely. But if I still have issues of worthiness, I'm not going to be able to hold on to it.
Right.
Because it's not about, are you worthy? You're asking. The creation is the asking. That is the worthiness. If you weren't worthiness, you couldn't ask for it.
Right.
But your subconscious mind says, are you sure? Just to make sure that you're ready for what it is. So what you do is you begin to mimic at the level that you're on what it would be like actually having it right here, right now. It's very, very simple. And the more life and energy and emotion you put into your mimicry where you're at, the subconscious mind then brings to you what you're asking for. And it brings to you it. I have this foundational assumption. It always 10x. If I ask for $1, it gives me 10.
Yeah.
So I'm always ready for more than what I ask for.
Right. I'm just in the place because it's just literally.
It's clicking. I hear the click, 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 click. Yeah.
But I mean, it's just literally that shift in just, well, of course, like, because what you expect, you get.
We're talking money. We're talking whatever, relationships. We're talking whatever it is that you want, whatever topic. It doesn't matter what the topic is. And that's why when you hear people and they talk about their stories of becoming enlightened, really it's becoming really aware of what's going on. And when you have your enlightening moment, you laugh for like a half hour straight, because it's like, damn, this is a good game. wow, was I deep into the unconsciousness level. But now, and even once you become aware of how it works, it takes a while to shake the old way of being and thinking and reacting. And so even when you have that light and people think you have the enlightening moment, and it's like, and the heavens part, but you're still in the physical reality. And now you have to learn this new language.
Right.
And it may seem like you take a step forward and 2 steps back because the old reality is always going, hey, don't leave us. Don't leave. Don't leave. We love you here.
Right.
Yeah, it's not the best most of the time, but we need you to exist. So come back to this.
Yes. It was going to, like, going back to the awareness. That's what that feels like. It's just, it's like waking yourself up from the dream. And then suddenly you see it all. And that's what I feel like that has happened in the last few months specifically.
Yeah.
Because none of, I would say, like, the actual circumstances have changed. Well, they've changed because I've created change. But I mean, it was the awareness first of what was there and what were the signs and who were the people and how it was all coming together. And that created some momentum,
Yes.
which then got me more excited. So,
well, it's really like the Truman Show, right? The movie where he starts to get that inkling. He's starting to see the repetition of things and how things seem very surface level, right? And there's no deeper dive in. And when he's trying to get questions and answers, the old reality needs him to go back to the way that it was. So it makes him think he's the crazy one and that he's not experiencing what he's experiencing. If you haven't seen the Truman Show, this is really about the journey to enlightenment. Right? That there's this paradigm that you were born into. It seems like not of your choice, and that all the characters are there supporting what's going on to keep you there. But it's you asking, who am I, and why is this the way that it is, that this exploration starts. And it was, and if you remember the last scene where he was going in the boat, because that's what the fear is. The fear keeps you in the old reality.
yes.
Right? The fear. So he was like, I don't care anymore, that I'd rather drown than be here. And when that's that bungee jump leap of faith I'm talking about, when you take that, you realize it was what's the quote from Oz? Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Don't pay attention to the old reality.
Yes.
And then we see him get to the door and walk through the door, because now he finally gets to live life the way he wants to, right?
Yeah.
But you got to be willing to go into that ocean of fear or whatever it is and realize you're the one. They created a scenario, but you're the one that keeps it alive within yourself.
Right. And that's what happened with her, is that, like, it felt like there's nothing more to be afraid of, like, because I was creating all the things that I said that I wanted. And again, there wasn't that much, like, fun in the creation. So it was like, okay, well, have you done that? Well, like, what else is there then? That was like the leap for me. It was like, if this isn't like what it is that you thought that it was, then let's walk through this other door here and see what's over there. Let's take that leap. Let's bungee jump. Let's trust. Let's allow, because I followed all the rules. She followed all the rules.
And you didn't get the results.
This is what you do. And I'm like, okay.
I got some of it, but why is this person over here doing less and getting more results than me, right?
Yes.
And that's all created by your mind, because that level of reality is just a real reality, is another reality you're going to create for yourself. So if you could create the life of your dreams, why are you in a reality where you're struggling?
That's what I wanted to ask people before. And I'd love for you to comment in there. Like, the assumption, do you believe that you create your own reality, or does life happen to you? Like, I mean, that's foundational for anyone to be able to start having their wishes fulfilled.
And both are viable. Like, they're allowed to exist in a universe of infinity. Both are real realities. It's where will you, it's like a video game. Do you want the video game where you have to struggle, or do you want the video game where things are ease and flow? All you got to do is pop out the one and put in the other.
Yeah.
But you got to learn the rules of the new video game if you've been playing the old one for so long, because what works over here doesn't work over here. And if you're not willing to learn the new language and the new energy, which is a lot easier over here, because And it's like, it might seem boring because there was all this struggle and strife over here. It can't be this easy. Like you said, it can't be this simple. And it really is. It's so simple.
And I will say for those, because it's like, it feels, it feels like, come on, really? Like, can you really just play? And it's only when I go back into that, or that lower character wants to like question that and go, you know, like,
Well, let's play with the word play, shall we?
okay.
You know how I like to play with my words.
Yes. And
so even Shakespeare said all the world's a play. And isn't when you go see something in a theater on stage, it's a play.
Yeah.
Right. So, but every day you wake up and you're in the theater of your life, and it's a play. You're acting out these scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, people say to me that I'm not serious enough. Oh, I'm dead serious, but I'm going to have fun with it because I know what's going on. And it's like trying to sometimes how I know that I'm not in the reality I want to be is when it starts to feel like work. Because I don't know when you were a kid, but when I was a kid, I didn't wake up and pull out a piece of paper and go, today's agenda, jump rope, blow bubbles, play school, do hopscotch, right? And put time frames down from 10 to 10:30, I will be jumping rope. From 10:30 to 11, I'm going to play hopscotch, right?
Right. That sounds like work.
But yeah, we got things done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we got lost so in the moment because it didn't matter what was coming next.
Someone I want to, because they've mentioned a few things about this, and I wonder if you would be willing to talk about that. It says, I gave up the struggle. My realities are the same, plus new family illness. If I didn't have some responsibilities.
You didn't give up the struggle, because you're talking about responsibilities and illness. That's all struggle. You got to pull out, because when you realize that the same characters exist in a different reality, not living that life. And if you're the observing consciousness to what's going on, that lets you know that you're in a struggle reality, because in a non-struggle reality, there is no illness. And the same exact people. And until you actually have the experience of it, you're not going to understand that that's a possibility. But just being open today that could be a possibility, that you could wake up in the same household with the same people, and someone who had an illness, and you go, how are you feeling? And they're like, what are you talking about? If you've ever had a memory with somebody where you remember it this one way, and they're like, I don't ever remember that happening. It's because you met a different version of them that didn't happen to them on that level of reality. And those things will start to open up. Once you open up to the possibility of them, then they start to open up to you. But if you are on the joy reality, you have to feel it within you. You cannot pay attention to the outside world. It's allowed to be until it transforms, but you have to be joyous in where you are. And the best way to do it is to stay out of your mind, to stop thinking about and narrating what it is.
That was the biggest thing that I would say for me. And that's what I meant before, like that, where circumstances didn't really change, even though they did, but it was the not going into the mind, sitting in the mind that was trying to tell me that these are the things that you do, or if I don't have this, if this hasn't shown up for me yet, then I have not achieved this, or I am not successful, or whatever that story was that I was buying into the mind.
It's conceptual.
Yeah.
So think about this. If you were to get up right now and take 10 steps forward, stand up and walk 10 steps, and then turn around. Now, when you turn around, you got to narrate it. Left, right, left foot, left foot, right. So because when you walk, you don't have to narrate what's going on in order to walk. You're moving around in the body. The mind now has this empty space to bring in other narratives of things that are not there and not important at that moment. And that's how you start to create lions that are not there. There's a big difference between a lion, you're walking down the street and there's a lion and it's looking at you, a physical lion there. And there's a big difference between that physical lion being there And you in your mind walking down the street going, what if a lion came up? And your body reacts the same way. Because to your subconscious mind, it doesn't need the physical reality to give you the feel within the body. If I said to you right now, think of your favorite cookie. Here we go back to the cookies.
I'm like, oh boy, no.
We're back to the cookies again.
Let's think of
If you
something
think
else.
about your favorite cookie, does your mouth not instantly salivate? Because your mind doesn't need to have the physical cookie in front of you to bite the cookie. And I can teach you, that if you have cravings and you don't want to eat, you can eat the invisible cookie and you feel so satisfied, like you actually ate the real cookie. You can taste the taste. You can feel it going down as you swallow. You can feel the satiation of the hunger or the craving that you had.
Yeah, I was just doing that.
Yeah. Right. So there are certain levels of consciousness. And you're talking about the 2-day event. Every 4 to 6 weeks, I do a 2-day private Zoom event, invite only. So consider this your invite. But registration is going to close because I close registration before the actual event so that we can get you in and ready to go. So if you want to join us all day tomorrow and Friday, right? So California time, it's what, 9 to 3? And Eastern Standard is 12. I'm getting better at the time zone, and 12 to 6 Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do 4 sessions each day where if this is something that it has piqued your interest, then you want to be there because it's a lot for us to do in 1 hour here. It's right. But if you really want to experience what it is that we're talking about, you might want to join us. I do not record these because I bring you to certain experiences each hour. I bring you into the experience about what we're talking about so that you actually can do that.
I finally know who the Facebook user is because they just put 5 p.m. Portugal time. So I'm like, there's only one. I'm like, really?
He just ate the most delicious chocolate cake. When he said to me the one time that he forgot to eat chocolate, I was like, what world how does this world even exist that someone forgets to eat chocolate, right?
Do you remember when I told you that I was filming that TV series and I don't know if you remember, but that entire time in between breaks, all I kept thinking about was like, is there time to go get chocolate? Like, do I have time to go? Like that was like
always time to go get chocolate, right?
I know, and that's what I kept telling myself. So anyway, go ahead.
The other thing is if you can't do the 2-day event, then join us over in the Facebook group, the Invincible CEO Circle. And do you have the link for that you pop up?
I can grab it while you're talking.
Yeah. So yeah, join us over there because there's a whole bunch of stuff over there that we do that will, and you can go in and peruse it, or the Invincible CEO on YouTube. There's a lot of great things that we have over there for you if you're just in that beginning stages. And if you think you've changed and shifted consciousness, you haven't, because you don't have to, right? Just like right now, I'm female. I'm not thinking about being female. I don't wake up in the morning and go, I'm going to female it today like I've never femaled it before, or going, oh, thank goodness, still female body, right? That's a given. That's an energetic foundational assumption. So
I put the link to your Facebook group in there. I highly recommend, like Denise said, whether you can make the 2-day event, not like you want to be in there. And then what did I do?
It shouldn't come up to that. Hold on. Let me double check because it should say Invincible CEO.
Not for me.
Okay, maybe for you. Never mind. Okay, wonderful. Yep, it takes you there. Sorry. Just double check that. Make sure.
Yeah, click on that link. But I was going to say you will get so much value every single day in her group. Like I can't even keep up.
We're even talking today at 5 o'clock about water only fasting. How doing a 1-day water fast will bring you faster manifestations. That's why it's called a fast. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. And I know that this is going to sound like, never mind, I'm not even going to say it.
Nope.
What
was it?
No, because I hear you in my head going, that's a lower character making excuses. Right. You're talking, yeah. But I'm like, I'm going to be at a comedy club tonight, and I'm like,
we're going to be every Thursday, as you know.
Okay,
I do a water only fast. So I'm going to have people join in.
Awesome. And I want to let everybody know that does not know that my big leap, something that I have done in the last few months that I didn't even have the idea is like started stand-up comedy. And tonight's going to be
Because I think you're hysterical. You are absolutely hysterical.
Thank you.
Yeah. Even when we try not to be.
Well, that part, yeah. Anyway, but that all happened though with these few months of playing. Like you can't get any more playful than getting on a stage and telling jokes. Like my whole thing has always been like about the awareness of joy, spreading joy, awakening people to their joy. And now, like, what better way to do that than to make people laugh, like to just bring them to that. It's pretty incredible.
So part of my joy in my journey is to get people across their finish line. And it may sound like I'm joking, but I'm that bridge jumping friend that your mother was always asking you about. You know, the one, if your friend were to jump off the bridge, would you follow her off the bridge? Well, not only do we jump off the bridge, we bungee jump off the bridge. If you really want someone in your corner, Shari, myself, we are all in helping you get past your finish line. And also your whole media consulting now.
Yeah.
That was an expansion. Share more about that, please.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely an expansion because as I said, you know, I've been doing media interviews. I'm on television all the time on like mainstream television. What?
You are the expert.
Yes.
Not only of how to get on there, but your delivery is so smooth.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, yes, it is. I saw that little, yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, well, it is. But I am in my joy. I am in my truth when I am in who I am when that television camera goes on, when I stand on that stage, when that spotlight, that is me. That is me in all my glory.
Yes.
That is.
Yeah.
And I have expanded in the fact that I know that lights me up, and I know that there are people who want to spread their message on television in the same way. And another expansion of my mind, like what better way to bring people joy than to have them be able to put their message or their product or their service on television too. Like it was a completely different shift in how to bring people joy too. Like starting the media consulting.
It took off. It took off. How awesome is that?
Yeah. All because of the play.
Play.
Play. Work. No, work.
And when you think about it, you're writing the script. You're writing the script of how the play is going to play out, right? You're the actor, you're the casting director, you're the director, you're the producer. You're it all.
I'm the star.
Superstar, man.
Superstar.
Personal foundation, energetic foundational assumption number 1. I am the superstar of my universe.
I am the star.
Yes. Look at you with your boxes all filled in, man. I love it.
Yeah. The smallest box is how does it feel in your body? Because all I want to do is like, I'm still, you know.
It feels, we make up words.
Yeah.
So I made up a word years ago before Google was a thing. I called it googly.
It's all good. Yeah.
It's all googly.
That's how my body feels about stuff. Like there are no words for it. The word that consistently goes in my 3-month energetic forecast that we've done together, like there's always buzz. Like I always feel like the buzz and the electricity. Like that's what I feel in my body when I feel.
And that's a really good buzz to have.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And coffee, which by the way, I just told Denise today that because this whole stand-up comedy thing I love, but I'm such an early riser that I really feel like I should start like coffee and comedy. So instead of 8 p.m. shows, like 8 a.m. shows. And
there you go.
The only person that would not be into it is John, which is fine. Because I come out like first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
and what we're going to learn some breathing techniques in this 2-day event, breathing techniques that can pump you up. And one of them sometimes is known as coffee breathing. It replaces you having to have coffee.
Yeah. And I feel like I don't, it's funny when you and Rich like talk and he had said like, is this before coffee? I don't need it. I enjoy the ritual of it.
Yeah. It just blows my mind that people drink coffee in the summertime. Like I like hot chocolate. I don't drink coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker.
Oh, nice.
And I drink hot chocolate, but I don't drink hot chocolate in July and August.
You just eat chocolate.
So
let's talk, because I know that there are people here today that about their wishes fulfilled. Because for me, my greatest wish fulfilled is that I feel joy in the in-between time, in the creation, in the moments and now.
And that wish fulfilled cuts down the time and space of all the other wish fulfilled.
Yes.
Because when you're fulfilled right here, right now, without anything that you've asked for, it now takes the importance off it, and the subconscious mind delivers it a lot faster.
That is so powerful because, and I don't know if you heard yesterday my analogy. I was pretty proud of it because I'm not very good at, not that I'm not very good, but it's just not my thing that I do at analogies, like the coloring book. Did you hear that yesterday at all?
You did?
Like, and that's what I feel like.
Can you share that analogy?
I would love to. So I believe like, so the way that I used to focus on, Shari used to focus on what wasn't there and all, you know, all that had to be done in order to, and as opposed to what is here. And so what came to mind was a coloring book. And when we open up a coloring book, it's blank, right? There's just the spaces that need to be colored. And we don't look at it and go, oh my God, there's so much space to be filled. Like, oh, what color do I have to pick out? Is not to do dark lines. I'm going to have to color it in. No, like there is the joy in, ooh, which color am I going to choose? What am I going to create here? And for me, that's what this feels like now. It's like I have the tools everywhere to create the life that I want for myself. And it's no longer work. It's all about how, like, just all of it. Like, who are the people that help make this happen? Where are they? What are the bridges of incidents? What is, you know, the adventure? How am I going to create it? What wand am I going to use? Like, there's such a different feeling in the creation. And that way, and that, like, so once you've colored it all and you have it, it's beautiful to look at. But what was just as beautiful was the coloring of it.
And not only that, but then when you're done coloring that page, what do?
You start another one.
You get another one.
Yeah.
Because it was so much fun. You do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
great analogy.
Thank you. I'm working on it.
Points for that. You get extra points for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. Well, now I'm coming up with more.
You just assign random points like the show. Whose is it anyway?
So let's talk about everybody's wishes fulfilled. And
so imagine this, that Shari and I are your magic genies of the universe until you can figure out how to do it yourself, right? Mm-hmm. And anything you put in the comments, oh, I forgot my magic wand.
You are your magic wand.
I know. The pink. But the one that you guys got me for my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Have it out.
Okay, well, guess what? You can use it at your live later today. And
I will bring my magic wand to the live. So we are your magic genie, and anything that you put in the comments below, consider it's your wish is our command. Now it's no longer about you being worthy of it. Now you have to go get ready for it. So if you're looking for that perfect partner to show up in your life, go buy them the 1-year anniversary card today. Because you're saying to your subconscious mind, I mean business, and fill it in, fill your heart's desire in that card. All you need is a name, and that's just details.
So y'all hear that? What is it? What is the wish that you want fulfilled? And would you say that, I would say that their wish is already fulfilled?
It's already done. It's done before you even ask. Because in the infinity of the subconscious, all things that exist now, ever will exist, or have ever exist. It's called simultaneous time. Everything, everywhere, all at once, right? Yes. So now, when there's clock time or psychological time, and there's simultaneous time. And so we use clock time, and I'll tell you how I use time. Time is like a street sign for me, like if you live on Main Street. That's a street sign, and you have a house, 432 Main Street. Somebody knows where to come. So for me to show up here at 12 p.m. to do this show with you, that 12 p.m. is a street sign, and street signs don't age you at all, right? Gotta love that. So now when you're determining what your wish fulfilled is, and it's not physically present right now, you are leaving clock time and you're going into simultaneous time where all things exist. It's like one big toy box. And you're picking out your done deal that already exists because you wouldn't know what to call it if it didn't. Mm. And even if you call it that thingy, that's still calling it something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the more specific you get, the more specific your universe will deliver to you.
Well, I'd like to say to the Facebook user who said, I want free time, I would say your wish is already fulfilled because
Well, you're here.
you're
doing
here.
this.
This looks like free time. This looks like fun time.
Yeah. When you stop honoring the obligations of a lower level that doesn't serve you anymore, we all, just like time and money, people have time and money for what they want to have time and money for. Everything else is a story that they create around that.
And again, that was the biggest thing that Shari had to realize, is that it was all stories.
It was all stories.
It was all stories.
All stories. It's not, if it's not happening right here, right now in front of you, it's a story you're telling, which is the concept. Stories are concepts.
And once we tell that first story, then we're often those people that go and find evidence to support that story. See, this is what I said. See, look at that. See, look at that. Tell an opposite story, or actually just be fully present.
Right. And that's the other thing. When you're doing all these obligations and you're not fully present, you're really not there anyway.
Say that one more time. Sorry, I was reading a comment.
Yeah, when you are giving your time to something and you're not physically there with it, you're really not there. Yes. Especially if you're thinking about other things when you're doing the thing that you're doing.
Yes.
So there's a big difference of being right here, right now, being fully present. That's why I don't record any of my trainings. Being fully present, it requires a different version of you to show up than one that can check it later. But most people don't check it later.
Yeah.
And there's just like money, people waste money. They waste time instead of investing money and investing time in who? Themselves.
Yeah. I was just going to say, like, the full presence, like, that is the gift, right? Like, even my morning walks, like, I know when I'm not fully present and the whole walk can go by and I'm not there with it. And then I'm like, oh, I missed my walk, to that moment that I am right there. And in that fully present moment lies like all the joy, the awareness of all of the goodness. Yes. And so, like, how many more of those moments can we create for ourselves?
Well, and I see a couple people saying they're fully present. Well, let me show you how fully present you are, and then how much more fully present you can become. Mm-hmm. All right. So you're fully present, right? Everybody will say that right now. I'm fully present, right? You're listening to my words. Do you realize your butt is touching the chair? Now, if you have a bigger awareness that your butt is touching the chair you're sitting on, you're even more present than when you thought you were fully present. And now that your butt's touching the chair and you're listening to my words and you're being fully present, what are the noises in the background can you hear that you didn't hear a second ago? Because now I've asked you to listen. Is somebody walking through the room? Is there a little bit of a wind? Is there a bird chirping, right? So here's the thing. Just when you think that you're present, you can become even more consciously aware. Your feet is touching the ground. Your butt is touching the chair, right? Can you feel your underwear on? Can you feel your socks on your feet? That's more fully present than you just were. And that's why people say, well, I was fully present. But now that you know that even when you think you're fully present, you can get even more and more and more. Take a big deep breath, hold it in. You're even more fully present than you were when your butt was touching your chair, your feet's touching the ground, you're hearing the noise in the background, you're hearing my voice. You get what's going on here. Yes. That's expansion. That is expansion.
And that's what I was going to say, that more that what I focused on the last few months too, was really like coming back to that awareness, to that full presence. And for people who identify so much with their mind and the stories, being able to have the practices like spinning every hour, like, you know, my bubbles, like all of that, that takes me out of being unconscious to being fully conscious, to being fully aware right here. That is what has created more of the higher energy, more of the, go ahead.
Do you remember what you said to me? Why are we doing these? Yeah. I remember you saying, why are we doing these spinning circles? Or are you just sitting there on your couch knowing that every hour I'm spinning and you're just laughing that I have these crazy people spinning for no reason? Do you remember?
I totally pictured her at dinner, like with her family going like,
they're spinning right now. I can feel them.
Like, and everyone's
laughing. My evil genius plan is to get everybody to spin.
Yeah. And you know, what's interesting is that the new people that you have in the program, in the 3-month energy forecast, who are asking the same questions. And I literally was able to say, don't ask questions. Like, just like, just do it. It'll become and you don't have to understand it. You don't have to understand it.
Because eventually it'll become who you are. And then the instant knowing will come.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to just say, because we've had this comment a few times of someone saying just, you know, I'm so hyper vigilant.
Well, that's for the current character that you're in, but there's other characters that you don't even know that exist, right? So if someone is vegan, they're very hyper vigilant that they're not eating meat, right? But there's also other characters of, are they getting in enough water? Are they hyper vigilant with that? So you're hyper vigilant for the topics that you've assigned yourself to be. But if you became aware of your butt touching the chair, you're not as hyper vigilant as you thought you were, because if it's a thought, then you're in a lower character. Higher characters don't need thought. And you can take your level of awareness to mind blowing, even at the most hyper vigilant that you've been. When you step out of character into the bigger awareness, you will be blown away.
Powerful.
Yeah.
All right. As we're wrapping this up,
yes,
let everybody know about this 2-day event. But before you go into that, I'm just going to say, join me tonight if you're in Los Angeles at the Federal in North Hollywood. I will be hitting the stand-up stage again. 6 minutes of fun. 6 minutes in heaven.
6 minutes. 6 minutes. 6 minutes, Olivia. You're on. Okay.
Go ahead. Your turn.
For what?
Share with everybody about this powerful next 2 days.
So the next 2 days is called Create Your Own Reality, Living from Your Wish Fulfilled. It is about going into the end and reverse engineering, knowing that it's a done deal. It's a done deal. What part of done deal don't you understand? It's done. It's already done. Going into simultaneous time, picking out the outcome you want, biting onto it like a pit bull, not letting go, regardless of what your current reality is trying to, like Truman, pull you back into the old reality, because there's something there for them, not you. So that's what we're doing. We are going to blow your awareness away. Your mind will be blown.
Yes. And I will be there. And I know Rich, who's here watching, will be there. And I actually know so many people are going to be there. Huh?
Declan.
Yeah, I know. But we've been saying Denise and Sherry. So I just went with that.
I forgot who I was.
Declan, Diana, Olivia, just so you all know.
Dodd.
Dodd. Thank you.
Lottie. Sorry.
He likes to potty. We don't.
I'm starting to spiral.
All right, everybody. Don't forget that your wish is already fulfilled, and all you have to do is say what it is that you want.
Yep. Put it in the comments below.
Yep.
Your wish is our command.
I don't know what that is. Bye, everyone. We will see you next week. And we'll also see you tomorrow. And don't forget to go into Diana's group. Join that. She is going to be speaking live today. 2 o'clock.
The Invincible CEO Circle. See you there.